Welcome to my channel, Bathroom Fitting Tips UK. In this video, you're going to see me tiling, toilet, screen and other stuff. Hold tight. So the first thing, sheet up. So we sheet up the stairs. So we've got to remove these. It's been leaking. We're keeping the tiles. This is coming out. Mirrors, putting a vanity unit on there. Toilet's coming out. Tiling the floor. And this has got to be repaired. I've got to drop this reveal so that we have a shower screen across here. So I've got to drop that down somehow, level with the bath, and repair this area as well. So it's be a bit of a pain, but yeah. So I'm just going to sheet up the stairs and little storage place there. Look where I can do my tiling. I get the table set up there. So I've got my bath board. I'll show you on there. So hold tight. Sheet up thoroughly. Been caught out before, so take your time. I spend about an hour prepping and getting all sheeted up. Look, it will bite you if not. Nice stair, cardboard everywhere you stand. So now we've got that area. So I've got the customer to move some stuff here so I can store bits there. Remember, we're working in a flat and it's a right pain at times. All sheeted off, okay? Toilet's coming out in a minute. Bath board, so the bath's staying, so I always sheet it. I haven't thoroughly sheeted it because it's not a big job. I'm not tiling over here. If not, I sheet everything in the bath. I put polystyrene in, but this is my bath board. Simple thing. Bit of insulation underneath to protect the bath, but it's also sheeted. And now I can put my wet tile cutter on there because you're upstairs. Can't use my grinder really, so I use my little wet cutter there, my tile cutter, and I can do all my tiling and bits on there. I can have another board there if I want. But that's fine. So I'm going to clear all this out because we've got a shower screen coming here, so I've got to lower this reveal. Flooring out, hardy board going in, toilet out, and hey presto, tile in there, so I'll prep that. And I'm going to put a new bulb in there for now. I always carry a bulb. A lot of customers have these low energy lights, but they're not bright enough, so I'll put my bulb in. I'll show you that in a minute. Look at that, a bulb. It's changed the whole concept of the insulation now. I carry the pearl one, you know, the screw cap, what that's called, and the 45, which is the bayonet type. So that will change your whole insulation. Good top tip that, and a head torch. It's all gone, look, been tiled on a silly bit of, not sure what that is. We'll pull all this off and we'll have a look. Take this off, I'm going to get the multi-tool, and then I can get some hardy in there and we'll tank all that, and then that will sort that problem out. And then I've got to drop this lower so I can get the tiles level with the bath, really, for the shower screen. So I'll do that next. 12 o'clock. So I've cleaned all this out. So it's going to be a bit awkward this now, so I'm going to have to batten it, get the hardy in. This reveals a bit odd because I've got to get this flat because the shower screen, we're having a fixed shower screen. So I might have to get some tile down a little bit. I'll get the levels first. So I'm going to use the Amazing Mitre Bond to seal, because it's very hard to screw in when you're in this corner, when you're sort of half doing something. It's very hard when you repair some area, but we'll get some battens in and then get the hardy and expanding foam that area, and we'll get it roughly right, ready for tile, and then I'll decide in a minute. But I need the tiles in line with the bath and for the shower screen, and it means that's going to look odd, so we might have to tile down a bit, get some clear tiles and put them in. I'm not sure yet, bit of a faff. Toilet's coming out now, so I've swapped my wet vac filter over because I've got the dry one, and now this is my wet one. This is great, so I use this to remove the water out of the toilet. They're always a pain to get off. This is getting smashed up, new toilet's going in. And in here I'm just letting the battens dry a little bit. I have a plan for that. So now I'm just going to remove the toilet. So I'm removing the toilet now. So here you can see my amazing wet and dry vac Makita. I love this 18 volt. So I take it out of the toilet first. I should be wearing my black mamba gloves, but I forgot. A bit unhygienic. So take the water out of the toilet, then I'll take it out of the system, and then I'll pull it all away and smash it all up and put it in builder's tubs. So I've got that off, I smashed that up. This is just going to come off the wall.
So a word of caution, make sure when you're doing this you don't hit the copper pipe of the coal feed that's come in, cover it over, because if these slip off they'll just go into the copper and you'll have a flood. So make sure you know where the stop tap is for the cold water supply, or if it's gravity fed, so check all that. Make sure the stop tap works so you've got access to it. Make sure the customer takes everything out of the areas where the stop tap is, so you can easily get out of it and test it works, because you don't want to rush to it. Pull all their stuff out under their kitchen sink if it's there. It's all flooding and you are knackered. And then test it, make sure everything stays out of that cupboard so you've got instant access to it, okay? And then wear full PPE because it can damage your hands, etc. If a bit falls on it, you can cut your wrist. And just be careful. And just smash it all up, put it in builder's tubs and take it outside.
Yeah, toilet's out. Always tape up your waste because it'll smell. I've got to put some proper gaffer tape around in a minute. I'm going to have to probably adjust that for the new toilet. And the new toilet hopefully will cover this. If not, we'll worry about that. Add it to the bill, I suppose. Speak to the customer. So the flooring, we need to go down to the concrete. Well, the wood, sorry, it was on about. We're on a flat. That's another job. So we're going to get this up, the old Vondelay and the backing, get down to wood, hoover it up, SBR it, and get the Hardy down. Hardy 6mm board. We're going to trowel that with a 6mm trowel and a rapid set adhesive and get that down. So that's ready for, and tape and joint it, and that'll be ready for tiling tomorrow. I'm still waiting for that to go off and dry a bit. I've got a plan for that. I'm going to get some same sort of tiles, try and match that in. It's the only option there. And then we've got to tile that wall there. Right, so floor's down. Oh, sorry, the floor's not down. I wish it was down. So SBR it in a minute, but I'm going to dry lay the Hardy. I'll show you how I cut it in a minute. So get that in, and then I'll SBR it, and then I'll have lunch while it goes off. Then we'll trowel it in and get that floor prepped. I'll check the levels in a minute as well, see where it's running in and out. I'll show you how to do that, and we'll go from there. Fantastic. SBR primer, alright, let's do the whole of this.
So I've got the old floor covering up, the old Vondelay. I've checked the floor for deflection, that it's structurally sound, there's no nails sticking out, no pipes close by, etc. And now I'm going to put the SBR primer on. I've checked also it's level, it's relatively level. I can sort of level slightly with tile adhesive. It's hardly anything out, like 1/2 mil. So SBR primer on, let that dry, and then we can then start putting our trowel in, our 6mm trowel of S1 tile adhesive, flexible tile adhesive. Put the Hardy boards down and screw them with the correct Hardy screws, 9 per board.
Let that go off, we'll have my lunch, and then we'll get the Hardy in this afternoon, ready for, and check the levels. It's structurally sound, there's no deflection, so it doesn't need repairing as some floors do, which adds to the cost. I always put that in the clause in my estimate, but it's as I thought. So we'll get the Hardy down. It's slightly out of level, we just have to level it as we tile, but I'll speak to the customer, I'll check the levels, but it's not too far out. So we're only doing 300 by 300 tiles, so you can get away with that. If it was 600s, we would need to self-level it, so yeah. The floor is still drying with the SBR, so I'm just going to prepare, we're tiling there, here. So it's plasterboard, painted, so you need to score it with a Stanley knife to allow the SBR primer to penetrate beneath the paint surface, thus allowing the S1's flexible adhesive chance to grip on thoroughly. Otherwise it's just gone to a painted surface, and this is bathroom paint, so it would just come off with the paint. So, do you get what I'm saying? You'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so just scoring it. I'll film it when I finish. You don't want to just see that. There you go. That surface. So you score it like that. Now when I hoover it, that will all bits come off, and that just opens up beneath the painted surface onto the plaster, so it allows the primer to get in there, and it also allows the adhesive to grip on, okay? Otherwise it could come off. I don't want to use Hardy on there because it's not really a wet area, and it will bring the lip reveal of these tiles it looks silly because they'll stick out, and then we'll have to do trims and it gets all silly. So there you go. I'll just hoover that off now, and then we're putting the hardy in. Hey, hardy! This is how I've done the levels. Using my laser level, I've got a high point there by a couple of mil. So I'll just have to use a bit less adhesive there, and then we're on 300 tiles, okay? So what I do is I get my laser level, and then you can use it spirit level. This gives you a real, and you can go around marking. So see that? Yeah. So what you do is you draw, put a piece of tape on and draw the line and start in the centre of the room, okay? Your laser level's fixed in, that's your datum line, and you just go round, and you see that's about half a mil higher there as well, okay? So we can get away with it with 300 tiles. If it was 600s, we'd have to self-level a bit. But if you go around the room, look, and then you can tell, it's easier than using a spirit level. And while you're doing it, see it's slightly dropped there. It's gone down, look. So that's fine, but it's not too bad, okay? Oh, what's me in the way? See the laser level on there? So that's my way of checking a floor. So you can do it on big floors, and it just gives you a good idea. So I know now, I'll start with this is my high point, just here, that's all I've got. So I've just got to use a little bit less adhesive, and then just feather it down, if you get what I mean. We can get away with it. Dry laid nearly, so just showing you how I'm cutting it. So I leave an edge around the skirting board, because you need to allow for expansion and contraction. So as long as you get most of it covered, it's screwed and adhesive, you'll have no issues. So how I do it is I've got the special scorer. You can use a jigsaw blade, but it'll go blunt, create a lot of dust. I use the hardy thing, which is good. Score it 4 or 5 times, and then I use a piece of wood under there, dead in line, and just press it down and it goes. That's the best way to do it. If it's 12 mil, you will struggle. You'll need to cut it. If I'm on 12 mil, I try and just use the weedy boards, which you can cut with a Stanley knife. But I like the hardy on a floor, it's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to finish off dry laying this, and then we'll go through adhesive. We'll get it screwed down with the correct hardy screws. People use normal screws. Make sure you don't use, you need the alkaline resistant tape, okay, from Tops. Don't use the plasterer's tape, it doesn't work, it'll break down and react with the cementous adhesive, yes one. And use the proper hardy screws, don't use normal screws. Again, if you're a hit and run builder and just doesn't care, but those screws will just go in the end, and then the whole floor will come up. So, but you know, the cowboys will be long gone, but I want to be in business. So there you go, let's get on. So I've cut some hardy and packers to get a rough level on that repair there. I'm going to foam around the edges, and that'll just pack that all out lovely, and then we can tile on that. I'll put a bit of tanking on, and then it'll be siliconed up, and we'll look at the levels and plan that tomorrow. I might just get some standard white tiles on that. And then now I'm going to start mixing up the adhesive. I'll probably use a rapid set to get this down, and that means we've got that prepped, toilet out. So tomorrow bring the toilet in, tile the floor and walls and bits. So we're doing okay. Standard set adhesive, I'll show you tomorrow because it's got dark outside. So that's the sort of consistency you want. You want it quite stiff because you're putting the flooring down. Use a 6mm trowel, and then I'm going to use the proper hardy screws, not the rubbish normal ones. So that's all going off nicely and nice and strong. So we'll get that level tomorrow. I'll put a bit extra, screw that all down, level it. And now I'm just going to have a cup of tea. So
we're now gluing the hardy board down. So I'm using a 6mm trowel. Okay, you know I've SBR'd the floor already and let that dry. I've dry cut all the hardy boards to 6mm. So what I'm going to do now is trowel on equally a 6mm bead of tile adhesive, and then I'm going to press that into the said adhesive, the board, and then I'll let that go off for a little bit, and then I'll put 9 screws in per board, and again using the correct hardy screws which are alkaline resistant.
Alright, so that's how you do it. That's 2 down. And you can stand on them because obviously they're not going nowhere. And that will stiffen the floor up beautifully. Alright, so I'll turn this off now and I'll just do the rest. Thank you. So you get your scent tape. You can use the trowel, but I find it just a bit messy with it's already on there, like. So get it in the centre. On my knee. Do the ends. You sort of get the knack for it in the end. You sort of don't pull it. So that's that. I can't believe I mixed exactly, it's never happened, the right amount of adhesive. Go. So screw it down now. Right, it's getting close, 5:30, so I'm getting close to finishing. Got everything done I needed today, amazing. Hardy screws. These are the ones you're supposed to use, like the alkaline resistant tape with the Hardy system. If you use normal screws, it'll rot them to, it'll rot them. So a lot of builders don't bother. They put, 25mm normal screws in, but it will move in the end. Must use these screws. You pay for what you get. So what I'm going to do, on average, it's 9 per sheet, okay? So the adhesive's gone off a little bit, and I just screw them in so they're mechanically and adhesively, if that's the word, fixed. So 9 per board, so obviously be about 25 screws in there. So you've now got a 6mm trowel under there, you've got the screws in the board, into the wood, it's all SBR primed, alkaline resistant tape, and then that's screeded over as well, so it's a complete system now, that a new floor. Good morning, day 2, Thursday. I've got some matching tiles for this, so that's going to be hoovered off and levelled. Got a plan for that. Self-assembly, I've got to do the wall cabinet, the toilet, the fill valve is this side, so I'm going to have to adjust the plumbing, which is a pain because I'm going to have to get the water off, possibly. I'll have to match it up. So that's that. So today I'm going to tile that wall, sort this bit out, do the floor, match the toilet up, try and get the centre of the floor done, so that tomorrow I can rapid set the edges, let them go off, and fit the toilet, grout up this bit. So yeah, this is all going to get another level of Kerdi board on there, or Jayco board, 6mm. Right, and I'll glue that onto there. Then I'm going to run a small, I managed to get some tiles exactly like these, so I'm going to run a lower level there, because obviously the old one was done across really badly. And then I'm gonna fold it round and tile it down here so you keep that reveal. And then I'll tile flat up to the bath with silicone there, tanking paint I think I'll do. And the only problem is where they've not brought the tiles down properly there and they're all chipped, it's not going to look brilliant. But the grout, I'll try and level that a bit with a chisel, but they're ceramic. So once we've got a level in round there, it's not, I can then tile flat, so we'll get a nice flat with a very slight fall, because we've got the shower screen, so we can't have a big fall. You know, at the end of the day, a shower, you should have the bath butted up right under the tiles. Okay, so the shower should have been fitted this end with the taps, so that you, I mean, that's not even good anyway, it's all failing. So I hate it when I'm having to do a sort of a repair, but we've got a shower screen going in, the curtains going, so I'm going to get on with doing that. Hold tight. Got the wall cabinet there, bit of tile trim if I need it. The nice screen. Now this is the reason we got this trouble here, because we're going to a screen, but so I'm going to tile that bit of wall down and down there. Once that's done, I'll get this tiled and then our screen can go in and it will look repaired and it will be watertight again, because it was never done properly. They hadn't even taken the edge of the protective bit of the, when you get the bath, so the silicone would never have sealed on there. So I'm going to do a slight angle for the water to run off. It's not ideal, but what can you do? I'm only repairing. Here I've done my little batten, so I'm doing 2 mil. My set out is, again, it's a bit odd, but the only way you can really get this with these tiles, these are beveled 300s. Okay, I don't really want to cut that bevel there because it will be too thick already. It's already a bit thick, so I'm going to do straight bond. So 1, 2, and then just a little cut there. I'm not brick bonding it because it's straight bond on there and it has to sort of match. So I'm just going to do 1, 1, 1 all the way up. Now what I've done my batten. This is the space of each tile. I've checked it carefully with 2 mil spaces. It's easy to draw it roughly, but it can run out, and then when you get to the top, we've all been there, there's a little slither or it's not worked. So that's the exact, with the 2 mil gap there. Place that on there, and I've checked it and I've run it all the way up, and I know that that's my spacing. So I need 33 tiles, 1, 2 and a cut, 1, 2 and a cut, and that's, we're only doing that little bit of the wall there. So that's what I'm going to do on that. So I'm going to go mix some adhesive up. Hold tight. Coffee. So this is part 1 of my bathroom fitting tips advice. Part 2 will be coming shortly. I've now finished that installation. So if you like what you see, please like, subscribe and comment. And in part 2, you will see me tiling the floor, finishing the tiles off on the wall, putting the vanity unit in, putting the toilet in, putting the shower screen on, and the final cleaning process. So hold tight.